It's a Wonderful Life is the greatest movie ever made. It is absolutely timeless. You can apply the lessons of this movie to today. Every aspect of it is really true life, starting with young George Bailey wanting to explore the world, not wanting to feel stuck in a one-light town. This scene where George is at the dinner table telling his dad he doesn't want to run the family business because he wants to do his own thing. He doesn't get why his dad does what he does. He witnesses the struggles his father's been going through just keeping the business alive, and George can't comprehend why anyone would want to keep it going. But how many young people feel that exact same way today? And they want to do what they want to do, but something special shown in this movie is right after the dad dies, is this sign under the portrait. And it says, all you can take with you is that which you have given away. So if you just take that simple message, that's what the George's dad embodied. I mean, he was that giving of a man. So his job was so much more than just a job. He knew helping individuals would avoid Mr. Potter and his slums. And if you take Mr. Potter and you see that his character directly correlates with what's happening today, where big corporate business is taking over or forcing the closure of many little ma and pa shops nationwide, it's just making it impossible for any of those businesses to pay their ridiculous high rents. George, who now has been running his father's business for a couple years, he didn't really want to get married. He didn't want to find himself stuck in the town, but it happened. He found the love of his life, and actually he flourished. He had children. He was running the business. He was good at the business, and they started Bailey Park, which allowed people to actually live in their own homes and not pay Mr. Potter these high rents for this slum village that he would have had George not been alive. And obviously that is shown when the angel Clarence comes. But all of that success and how many people's lives he was affecting, he didn't know. And look at how this movie just has him in a bar, depressed. Think about mental illness today and what everyone's dealing with and how high these suicide rates are. And I think there's such a pressure on people that they have a vision of what their life is going to be. And when it's not that, they just either feel like they've been a failure or they can't see beyond their despair. And so this movie does a phenomenal job of really taking him through, like, here's Pottersville. Here's what it would have been if you didn't run that building and loan. And he's looking at it like, well, it's filthy. It's debaucherous. Like, what is this town? This isn't Bedford Falls. Well, no, but that's what happens with a corporate takeover. That's what happens when people are just concentrating on money, greed, what sells, right? Sin sells. And it's like, he just can't wrap his mind. Like, how can one person change so many people's lives? But they can. And so then when you see the difference and you see that he's back and he's seen Bedford Falls and, oh my goodness, it is like every time I watch this movie, I just have that overwhelming thought of like, wow, I don't even know how I've affected someone. This movie gets you thinking, reflecting, and it's absolutely beautiful. And it's absolutely true how Clarence says in the book, the Tom Sawyer book, that he leaves George, no man is a failure that has friends. When you have friends, an entire community can rally around you. And this is what happened in the movie. In fact, they mentioned so many friends. It's like Mary ran over town and said, George is in trouble, right? And so that's all they needed to hear, these people. And they just gave anything that they had. Because when someone has given of themselves for so long, people feel that. People know that. And if you're in trouble, well, they're going to give right back to you. And so this is a beautiful lesson in taking care of our neighbor. Love thy neighbor as thyself. I mean, this is the message. The story of this movie is love, helpfulness, help one another. It's just timeless. It applies to today. My favorite movie of all time.